Hello and welcome to our market report. We're at the start of September and I've got a special guest here today, Tracey Russell, head of our property management division. Trace, welcome.
Good morning, Greg, and good morning to all the viewers out there.
Yeah, so we're into September and I'll talk a little bit about the sales market and how we're travelling shortly, but I thought today we might just talk a little bit about what's happening in the world of rentals and property management. The vacancy rate, how's it going out there?
Yeah, good question, Greg. Vacancy rate's great. For the Melbourne, average at the moment is 2.9%. For the outer east, it's actually 1.6%, but we're currently sitting on 0.5%, so we're way below the Melbourne average.
Wow. So that's, do you put that down to anything at all that you can think as to why lettings are so strong for us at the moment?
Yeah, it seems to be a supply and demand at the moment, Greg. There seems to be high demand, but the supply seems to be down. So therefore, properties are going quickly. Yep. You know, a lot of properties at the moment, we're only actually opening once and they seem to be getting good applications.
Well,
so
I know we were talking off camera before and you were just talking about that a property, you might want to talk about the property in Revenue Place that would have rented at X amount but recently let for this amount.
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, 4-bedroom homes, there just seems to be a high demand for those at the moment and there's just not enough supply on the market. So therefore what happens is it pushes the price up. Probably 6 months ago we probably would have only achieved $550 per week for that particular home. Right. We achieved $650 per week.
Wow, so significant difference. And the 4 bedrooms, is that just because that normally they're not the normal sort of investment style property that a lot of people look at? Yeah, so there are not many of those around?
Yeah, there's just not enough on the market, but there is a demand. There's always been a demand. Yep. And we always find with 4 bedrooms, we get good inquiry and they tend to get good prices because there's not enough out there. Okay,
so for any investors, I guess, if you're looking at buying a property, if you can find one that is a 4 bedroom, it may just help you achieve a little bit higher rent or better rent return, which is good. Just coming down the bracket, sort of modern 2-bedroom units, what would they be sort of renting for?
Yep, once again, they're getting good prices at the moment, Greg. We've let a couple recently at $350 per week. Right. Once again, 6 months ago, we probably would have only achieved $330 per week. Okay. Yep. So again, it's due to the supply being down, but the demand being up. Okay.
And what sort of is sort of the real budget type property? If anyone that's on a real low budget, say they're a single person or something and they're looking to rent a property, what sort of dollars do they have to pay to find a property?
For your basic 2-bedroom units, probably about the $280 per week. Okay, right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting to know. And suggestions for tenants when they're going out there looking for a property, because I obviously don't directly work in the property management, but from obviously the vacancy rate that you're saying and from what I hear, some of your opens that you conduct, you might have a stream of people lining up and obviously only one person can be successful in getting the property. So any suggestions for tenants that may help them secure the property they want?
Sure, it is a tough market out there for tenants at the moment, Greg. My suggestion would be, as soon as you see a property advertised, get to the first open. Right. Because it's possible that property is not going to be there for a second open. As soon as you've seen the property, get your application in straight away. Yep. Provide all the relevant documentation, and covering letters are great. Yep. Owners love covering letters. It just tells them a bit more about them and their current situation.
So like a covering letter, meaning like an introductory letter, who they are, a little bit about them, and so forth.
An application form is fields where you're just filling out the information that we're asking. Sure. A covering letter will provide us with more information about them.
Because at the end of the day, realistically, a landlord just wants to know that their property is going to be looked after and that the rent's going to be paid on time.
It's two things, Greg. That's right. It. Yeah. Pay your rent and look after the property. Do those two things, you'll never have a problem getting another property down the track.
And I know a lot of people, I guess being from the sales side, which I look after more, but a lot of owners where I sell homes for and then they're going to need to rent, they say, Greg, well, how am I going to find a property to rent? At the end of the day, whether you've had a long rental history or whether you've been a property owner, at the end of the day, you've still had to be paying something on a regular basis, whether that be a mortgage or rent. So it doesn't matter whether you've got rental history or not. At the end of the day, they're the main things. They just want to know the property's going to be looked after and the rent paid on time.
And a lot of owners do ask that where they've owned their own home. So putting that in a covering letter.
Yep.
Will actually explain why they don't have current rental history.
Okay.
So just because you don't have current rental history doesn't mean you're out of the market.
Sure.
It's just providing that extra information to be able to pass on to a homeowner.
Beautiful, lovely. Thank you, Trace.
Thanks, Greg.
That's good. While you're here, just to give you a little bit of an update on the sales market, still continues to be strong. August, the office just for here, for Mooroolbark, had 597 buyer inquiries. And as a company as a whole, it was well over 1,000 buyer inquiries that we had into the group. So certainly there's still plenty of buyers out there. Our biggest challenge, as I've said for the last couple of months, has been that reduction in properties coming available, and certainly the old supply demand, the supply is currently not meeting the demand, so we are still seeing prices on the rise. So for home sellers, especially now as we come into spring, outside today, it's certainly not a welcoming spring day. She's a bit wet today, but we have seen a bit of sunshine and a real taste of it. Footy finals are here, and we're about to get into the market where it'll really hot up. So that's the market report. One little announcement or thing that I'd like to advise, or two little things. I would like to congratulate my father Jeff. He was inducted into the Professionals Worldwide Group Hall of Fame, of which they do only induct one person each year. So a massive honour. He was presented with that award in Queenstown in New Zealand. And actually my brother and I actually flew over to Queenstown and surprised Jeff and my mum as well, and when they presented the award to them. So it was a amazing night, proud moment, special moment, and naturally all of the company here and all the team were thrilled, and I think it's a great recognition for everything that Jeff's done for the group. So well done. And Trace, a little bit more to announce for the property management department. Some exciting things happening.
Yes, we've got an exciting times ahead, Greg. We've actually secured the shop next door.
We have.
So that will give us, the property management department, our own dedicated area, which will enable us to grow. Yeah,
meeting rooms and places where you can bring tenants in. I mean, we've got that here, but basically you can't see on the camera here, but we're going to be literally cutting through the brick wall behind us, and we'll be going through, and it really will be just fantastic for all of your team to really have your special area. That's probably the best way to put it. So it's pretty exciting. We're looking forward to that. So you'll start to see a few changes out the front of the office in the coming weeks and months, no doubt. So that's our market report. Trace, thank you.
Thanks,
and to the viewers, if you any advice, anything we can help on the property management side, talk to Tracey and the team. They'd love to help you. And obviously anything further we can assist, please contact any of our 4 offices at Mooroolbark, Croydon, Lilydale, and of course Mount Evelyn. On behalf of the Methven Group, my name's Greg Earney, Tracey Russell, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.